Emergencies. We've all heard the old saying, plan for the worst and hope for the best. Well, hope's not much help when a serious unplanned aircraft issue arises. What would your reaction be, say, if a rudder cable were to break? What about the throttle jammed on full power? What would you do to save the situation? Hope? I certainly hope not. Being prepared and current for all possibilities may well save you bacon one day. Today we flew with Steve and set about challenging some serious what-if scenarios. So come with us as we experience many potential in-air failures and work through the solutions. Come and enjoy.
Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7252, entering and backtracking at 23, Gawler. This should be fun today, Ian.
Well, yeah, it's something...
Traffic Gawler, Jabiru 8538, right downwind, runway 23. The departing circuit's climbing through 1,200 feet, aiming for 3,500, Gawler.
Got the training area to ourselves.
Well, we just use circuits because that's all we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Come to the middle, you really want to get that eye in. You want to keep that's better. You get used to going left, you'll aim left when you're landing.
Okay.
So this just keeps you, same on the taxiway, there's no white line, but it just keeps you centered all the time.
Always wanted to drive in the middle of the road, Ian.
As long as you drive a hard bargain, that's the important thing.
I know you do.
Oh shit.
Okay, if we have to abort the takeoff, it'll be nose down gently. Up to 60 knots.
No, we haven't taken off yet. How do we abort the takeoff?
We abort the takeoff. It'll be throttle back.
Yep.
Mag is off.
To go through the habit, throttle back.
Throttle back.
Brakes
on, mag is off.
That's right. That's the
Throttle
order you want to do them in. And now we're airborne. What would be the next problem?
We're airborne. If we can land at the end of the runway safely, we'll nose down.
Correct.
If we can't land in the end of the runway, we have paddocks to the right, which
Correct.
we will land.
We could also use the highway, you know. Quite usable, so long as you stay in the left-hand lane.
The middle?
In the middle of the left-hand lane, yeah, exactly. Cool, there you go.
Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7252, lined up, rolling, 23, Gawler. Okay, brakes off.
What's your last check? Come on. What's your favourite?
I've actually done that
You did
twice.
My apology.
I'm going to do it again for you.
No, fine.
Flaps, fuel pump, green, 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 and green.
Way to go.
That's the best check in the world. I'm with the inventor of that.
Nicely controlled.
Thank you. I don't do it right, I'm with the guys.
Engine failure.
We're going to go right down here.
Good.
Flying with the unpredictable Ian.
That's the one. Because an engine failure is going to be unpredictable, isn't it?
All the time.
So just a normal circuit to get your hand in.
Hey, thank you. Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7252, turning final, 23, touch and go, Gawler. Yeah, it floats, doesn't it?
Beautifully done.
You taught me.
There you go. Nice job. So we're going to start practicing things that I hope that never happen, but you never know. So we might as well be prepared for them. So the first one's going to be we're not going to land the aircraft because we're only simulating, right? But we're simulating the fact that when we're on downwind, our rudder's going to go. We've lost the rudder cable, or the pedals have jammed up, or the spring returns busted. Can happen. So the question's going to be, it's not going to be a nice landing, but you want to do the best you possibly can. So this is where you want to attitude power trim to get that organised first.
Attitude, power.
Trim it to hold it there.
And trim.
Then you can turn. So,
Gola traffic, Jabiru 7252, turning downwind 23, Gola.
so now we're going to take our feet off the pedals, off the rudders. Put your feet on the floor. I'll keep mine on the pedals for safety, okay? So put your feet on the floor, off the pedal, right off the pedals.
They're off.
Okay? And so we don't have rudder. So now we're going to, what have we got that we can use to fly with?
So we've got our ailerons and we've got our flaps.
Okay?
And throttle.
So we've got every control bar the rudder. Okay? But as you would remember, we can bank, and as we bank it will turn. It'll be uncoordinated, so we don't want to be doing it, we want to have a fair bit of speed on when we do it, don't we?
Yes, yes.
Otherwise, we'll be uncoordinated at 45 knots and we'll spin in. That's what we're trying to do here. So we'd normally put a pan, rudder cable broken, 2 POB, we'll be landing on 2-3. Okay? So now what I want you to think about is your airspeed, so we keep around about 70 on. Haven't got any rudder, so feet on the floor, good. We're just going to use our ailerons.
First stage of flaps.
That's it, so keep the plane. It's going to feel weird that you're not using your feet, but that's the way it's got to be. So now I'd start to bank it to the right, keep 70 going. And it's turning. So you've got every control bar the rudder. Weird, isn't it?
It's weird, Ian.
But, did it happen? It sure has before. So, your job is to fix it. So we're only practicing, we're not going to land, we're going to fly along the runway and take off again. Okay?
So our fuel pump's on, our instruments are green. Speed her up a bit, we want 70 knots.
Just so we don't stall. That's our big problem. Because we don't have a rudder now to fix it.
Just got to be a bit more gentle, don't you?
Well, you've got to be very careful. You know, more than gentle, it's got to be careful. And we're lucky, we could use the grass if we had to. You know, so it's not just, don't restrict yourself just to the visual runway. And it will go left by nature, so most probably a little bit to the right wouldn't hurt, that's good. I'd go full flap now if it was me.
Full flap.
Pitch down. When I tell you to, I'll get you to go around, okay?
Yeah.
So we're still steering, aren't we?
We're still steering, yes.
Nothing you can do about it, you haven't got a rudder. That's it, bank it over. Maybe we have to use the grass, that's okay. Okay, that'll do, power on. Rudder's fixed again, away you go, you've got rudder now.
Got rudder now, thank you.
So was it doable?
It was doable, yes it was.
Would it have been a nice landing? No, it wouldn't be. You have no control, you can't steer it, but you haven't got a rudder. But it is an emergency. That's where a pan comes in. We don't use pans much, but we should. That would be a clear indication to Colin that we're in trouble. And
yes.
He'll go away. He'll fly away and let you look after your emergency.
Definitely doable, Ian.
Okay, do another one. Another good trick would be, because we've got fairly calm air today, but let's assume it was turbulent, I would make a longer final, just to give me time to get a feel for what I'm going to do. And there'd be no reason why you couldn't do a practice circuit with no rudder. But just don't get too close to the ground, that's all. Obviously we're only simulating. This is a very good example of don't panic. Because it would be a horrible feeling, wouldn't it, with the rudders just jammed? They're not going to work anymore. But now, you've now got to do some problem solving.
It would be horrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah. What can be real problem is people's water bottle. Passengers, water bottle under the pedals. Can't get down to fix it. And you jam, you cannot move them.
That would happen quite easily.
My word, that's part of the passenger briefing. Water bottles in the back. Okay, your heels are on the floor.
Hills are on the floor, Ian.
I mean, if you think about it, let's assume we had a wind coming a little bit from our left, a bit of a crosswind. Then you could land on the right-hand side of the grass and aim across the grass and onto the gravel. You know, you've got to make, you don't have rudder. So this is all the steering you've got now. And you've got power. But the wind's down the runway today, so not an exercise. Again, just head for the right a bit more, because we know we're going to be drawn that way by the propeller, the airflow. Yep.
Got all that grass on the right as well.
That's right.
Power's all the way back, she's just loading at them.
Away you go, go around, go around. Power on, up you go. Nose down. Nicely done. Alright, so this time we'll do another one. We'll do, this time the ailerons have failed.
Oh wow.
Cable's broken. The key to this is to make sure you don't go low down in airspeed and get into a stalling situation. That's the problem.
Attitude. Power. And trim.
I can call you downwind.
Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7252, turning downwind 23, Gawler.
Okay, so now you've got a rudder, but you don't have an aileron. So you've just got to leave it where it is. You can still use the elevator. Okay? I beg you. Start again. You've only got a rudder now and the elevator. You don't have aileron.
Okay, thank you. 70 knots in, carb
Yeah.
heat out, brakes are free, instruments are green.
Because again, the higher the speed, the rudder's going to be more effective. And we're going to need it effective to get us out of trouble here.
Long final as well.
Yeah, that's long enough. Just to give yourself a bit of time. So don't bank it, that's good. The rudder.
Rudder
And just keep watching your airspeed. I'll just keep it so you don't push it, alright?
Yeah.
Feel an instinct you want to turn it, don't you?
You do, don't you? Carb heat away.
Rudder over to the right a bit more. That's good. Oh, no, don't bank it.
Second stage of flaps. Whoa.
But again, doable, isn't it?
It's doable, Ian.
Okay, go around. Another one down, eh?
Another one down, thank you.
Got a lot of wildlife around today, birds going over and under us.
A lot, yeah.
So this time, you've got all controls, but you don't have an elevator,
Okay.
so you can't pitch.
Oh wow.
Have they been broken? Have they broken before? Yes, they have. So, what would I do?
Gonna come in quite flat.
Yeah, well, you've got to work it out. It's really sort of putting the problem solving in your hands for something you've not done before.
Yes, Ian, yeah.
Feel like hitting a bird, wouldn't it? You can't practice for that. But, yeah, so once you get yourself on downwind, you can't use the elevator.
Gawler, Jabiru 8538 is joining crosswind runway 23 for a touch and go. Gawler. And we have your visual, Steve.
Thanks, Colin.
In this instance, you can't trim because you can't use the elevator. So what would be your main tool now to help you?
Flaps.
Yeah, you could use flaps, yeah, that could help for a while. Yep.
Traffic Gawler, Jabber 8538 is right downwind, 23, touch and go, Gawler.
What's going to control your height?
It's going to be our speed, isn't it?
Yeah, speed, power. Yep, that's exactly right. Now again, we're not going to land because we don't want to damage the undercarriage. This is an emergency situation, which is not real. So all you've got to control your way down now is flaps and or power, isn't it?
Yep. This is life-saving training.
Yeah, I mean, like an engine failure, but it never happens. But what if it does? What are you going to do? What are you going to think through?
Gawler traffic, Jabberoo 7252, turning final, 23, touch and go, Gawler.
So power's all that's controlling this, isn't it?
Power,
Or
yeah.
airspeed, I mean. Power.
The throttle.
Yeah, that's going to be your friend, isn't it?
You always said power's my friend.
Right. Definitely got that made. So we don't have an elevator, so we can't pitch it down. The aircraft do its own thing, don't we?
Dan, yep.
Okay, go around. So it worked.
It certainly did, yeah.
Now watch your ATSP, so bring the power. So now your flaps are stuck down.
Okay.
We took off with full flap and they're stuck. So you can control everything else, but you can't control the flaps.
Okay, thank you.
And this time you can turn it into a normal landing. Again, no problem, is there? You just got to keep it under 80. You can fly along here at 55 knots, I don't really mind, whatever you want, but you can do it.
Yes.
I hope that's your takeaway, that all of these things, whilst I hope they never happen, are all manageable. Where people cause the problem is they panic. And the fact is, you prove you can do it. It can be done. And it may not be the best landing in the world, and you might crush the undercarriage, but you're stuck. You've got to do the best you can do.
You get to talk about it here.
Exactly. What's that runway look like to you?
Looking low.
Huh?
It looks
Low?
good.
Bloody high to me.
No, it's low. Not that'll make you smile.
You need new glasses.
I'll show you it's
I
low.
thought you were being serious.
Well, you have fun with me, I can have fun with you.
That's why you pay me the big money.
See, it's low.
Looking better now. Yeah, so just do a nice touch and go, and then we'll take off with full flap.
Oh, that balloons.
Nicely done. I'll put them up for you. Oh no, get them full flap, full flap.
Full flap.
Get away you go. That's it. Get the airspeed up. Beautiful.
I reckon you can have a landing.
No, don't scare me, that one. Gotta land to save myself. You do it better than I can do it.
I don't know about that.
No, I do.
I've seen your landings, they're pretty good.
All of a sudden, engine's gone.
Why would I suspect that?
Call it traffic, Jabberoo 7252, simulated engine failure. Downwind 23 for touch and go. Call it. That pitched up, you're too fast. Yep. Turn around. Not in the glider, don't forget. This is a really good example where you can get very fixated on the gravel, but you can use all the bitumen, use all the grass you can use. You have to. We don't have an engine. The old glider pilot comes out in you, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, has to. You're in with me. That's why I did gliding first.
Just watch your airspeed there.
Yep, 65 knots. I'd be landing on the grass here.
Yeah, don't do that though. Too rough. Power on, power on. Actually, my controls just for a minute.
Your controls?
Remember we talked about a forward slip and a side slip?
Yes, Ian.
To me, and I'll show you what a side slip can look like. You want to get across somewhere else. Right, so you can slip it, even though we don't want it to land, right? That's a slip. Across the other side of the runway. The idea?
Side slip, so you're sideways.
That is a side slip, not a forward slip is when we're coming in land and we need to get it down. But that's a side slip. So you can slip it wherever you want. We want to move across a runway or out of the way of something. Your control.
My controls.